Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Faustine and this is Faustine's Fragments, and in today's video I would like to share with you how I used my hobonichi A5 hon during the month of August. I've already done that for the month of June and I want to do that for July, but I still have like some pages in July that I would like maybe perhaps to fill, to backfill. I'm not sure, but let's do August for now. Let's get right into it. Like on the first page, we get like a blank page for each beginning of the month between the last day of last month and the first day of the month. I said month too much. But yeah, on that first page, I decided to put trackers in because I had done that for the month of June. Let me find that. Nope. Yeah. And it had worked so well. I had tracked a lot of things, but including, like, most important for me were reading and writing, and also was about my eating, drinking habits, and sports. So like more health and wellness kind of thing. And here I really wanted to focus more on art and being creative and what I was doing with, like, media consumption. So I did track all the time I was reading, journaling. Every time I watched a movie, I was doing some creative writing. I watched some Korean media, and when I was doing art. Yeah, so it was a very cool thing to do in itself. Like, I do think it's really nice, and it sometimes did encourage me to, do something, because I was like, oh, I would like to check that box today, even though I would not have thought immediately to, I don't know, do some creative writing. But at the same time, especially at the end of the month, and I think, yeah, you can't see that. I was like, maybe you can see that, you can't. But I felt overwhelmed by the fact that a lot of those, little boxes were blank, because I did not do that specific thing. It was definitely not supposed to be like a daily track, like to make myself do all those things like every day. Like, I did not want to watch a movie every day, but at the same time, seeing that I have only watched 5 movies during the month was like, which is completely stupid, because, for example, even for creative writing, if I had done this for the previous month, it would have been like twice as less. So it's stupid to compare myself and to judge myself for what I did here. But just, I learned that it was not for me, like, that type of tracking, because it made me feel bad rather than making me feel better. So I think, like, for such things, I think, like, just a list of, like, every day, just like a little, list of every day, for example, 1st of August, and then puts like one creative thing that I did, would have been much better. For example, I could have been like, oh yeah, journaled, I did a collage, or did some creative writing or something, and that would have been better than just seeing all of those things like blank. Even though I did do a lot of things, and I'm really glad, because I kept on my habit of reading every day. And it did not happen in July, but for a lot of different reasons. And I journaled a lot, like almost every day, so really good as well. Then at the bottom of the page, I have the goals that I set up for the month of August at the end of July, and I was way too, I don't know. I just think I was going to do so many things, just because at the end of July, which I'll explain later, I wanted August to be like a renewal kind of month, just like to be more productive and to do things that I needed to have done, like during the summer, and that I had not done in July, just because I was lazy or just could not. And I was like, okay, let's put all of those things here, which was stupid, because I should have focused on more specific goals, or like just 1 or 2, maybe 3, 4 max. Here, look at how many of them there are. Some are like very easy to do. Like, I was obviously doing, for example, see my friends, which is something I can do. Let me check those things off. Yeah, actually, I did more than I thought I had, which is completely stupid, because I knew, but then just, like, just crossing and highlighting it is like really helpful to see, because I've done 7 things out of like 10. And the only thing that I think I should have done, but I'm okay with not having done, is like read 1 academic book. Like, sorry, professors, I have not done that. Like, I was gonna say I wanted to. I did not want to. That's the reality of things, is that Okay, let's move on to the first day of the month. Just to shed some light on those first few pages and some of the pages of the month, like during August. A little information. At the end of July, I got a very sad news about my master's thesis. Basically, I'm not going to be able to work on the project that I thought I would. So all the work that I had done for the past few months, it's not completely useless, but it's very useless. Like some of the things are completely useless, and I had put like a lot of time and energy into that. So that was very like hard blow on my mental state at the end of July, and yeah, that really impacted me. That like really impacted me. I was completely broken at that point. And at the same time, at the end of July, I had to take a friend in. Like she had to live at my place because she needed somewhere to live. Just it was really like short for just like few days. I think 5 days or something. So it was definitely not long-term thing. But it came at the same time as this very harsh news for my master's thesis, and it was a lot to work on at the same time, because I am someone who needs a lot of alone time and space and like personal space, and having my friend with me at home, because I do a lot of things during the day, like socially, academically, just in general, and I need my alone time in the evening, and having her at home made it complicated. Not impossible, because she's a great friend, and she was very understanding of what I was going through, and she was just very I'd say just grateful that I was letting her stay at my place. But it was a very harsh time for me. Like, so I was browsing through things that I could put, like, you know, little drawings or maybe postcards or whatever, ephemera that I could to paste on that page. And I found this, which comes from the packaging of a bagel craft, like a shop, like a bagel shop, from the bag where the bagels were in. It was not very English, but you got. I hope you got what I said. It was about like it was. We went to that shop, to that restaurant in September of 2024. So like a long time ago, like 11 months before that. And it was very fun to see it again, like to find it again. And those words, like, so thank you, Faustine, were definitely words that I wanted to see. So I put them on this page and talked about my thesis. Then this is like I watched a video from Lila Björn Stationery. It's really bad. I should be able to read this because I have studied for 1 year in Sweden, but I can't. I'm sorry for the pronunciation. But yeah, I think on one of her notebooks, she had like stickers from Jake and Gina from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like the TV show, not the movie show, whatever, like from the TV show. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine is my all-time favorite show. And I was like, how do I not have any Brooklyn Nine-Nine stickers? Like, how is that possible? And that made me want to get some. I did not, because that would be a useless purchase for now. But, you know, it's there for maybe at some point I'm gonna go, you know, flip through the pages and be like, oh, I definitely want those stickers now. That day I went with my friend to a cafe, and we just worked on our own creative writing projects, and that was really fun. That day was my birthday, and I don't know, I think it was because I was feeling so down just this whole time, but also I felt very I felt nervous about having to write on my birthday and what I was going to write about, and I did not want to be negative in my writing on my birthday. I did not want to have that to look back to. I'm not even sure if I wrote in my, you know, longer form, long journaling journal. I don't think so. But yeah, I still wanted something to put on that page. And that day I listened a lot to a song called Youth by Lino from Stray Kids, where like Stray Kids is a K-pop group, and that's my favorite group. And I watched the MV a lot that day on YouTube, like on repeat, because I like the song so much. And it's like very youthful, joyful, and like, yeah, just it's about like enjoying one's youth and doing just what we want to, and just enjoying life, and just not be too serious about not be too serious about it. And I thought it was a very like the message I wanted to remember for that specific day. And also because it's obviously that was my birthday. I turned 22 when I wanted to have that youth like meaning on my page. And so I did this, like the whole music video, the MV from that song Youth is bingo themed. It's like so good. Like I love how it was like thought out. So yeah, I just did this little bingo thing because in the MV he does the same, like with Lino, I think, with here, yeah, obviously Lino, so his name is there, and yeah, I thought it was cute. And I because I have one of my letters, like one of the letters from my name is in youth, I was like, let's do this. I mean, two technically, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, that day is the day I posted my media journal video, like where I completely just introduced the way I used my media journal, and I got a lot of comments on it. It was really good, like good, and yeah, that it made me think about why I started a YouTube channel in general. So I talked about that. Here I divided the page in different zones, I guess, because I talked about different things and at different times during the day. But yeah, so that's about the video and how it got so many comments and just views, and it was absolutely crazy to me. And Chris from the Alanim channel commented on that, like on that video, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh. So hi Chris, if you're if you're here, that really made my day. Here is something from an app, because on the 2nd here, with my family, we celebrated 4 birthdays that come in August. We are a lot of Leos in my family. And that day, one of my older sisters showed me an app that's called The Pattern. And yeah, that's an app where you can see your zodiac sign and zodiac charts, personality traits. And I've got that here. Like, apparently I have a lot. If you use the app, tell me how many you have, like my patterns, because you can see my patterns. So personality traits. Because for example, Moon in Scorpio apparently means strong-willed and powerful. That's good. I take that. And then there's your impact, which is what is impacting me right now. And I have been in neutral timing. Here it says from the 29th of April to until September 3rd. Today is September 3rd. And I have not checked since, I think, middle of August or whatever, if I had new cycles impacting me. It was really interesting, and I really want to write about this specific, like those personality traits, and I know why. Like some of them were extremely precise and like were very precise description of who I am, and some of them were like definitely more just vague, and I thought they were saying everything in their country just to make people think that it was meant for them, and that I did not like. I'd like to have your opinion on the pattern if you use it, or just like those kinds of applications. I do not want to, just don't be mean or like condescending like about zodiac, signs and like astrology and everything. But like if you have some thoughts about, those specific applications, apps, or I don't know, just apps where, they can't be, it's not as personal as if someone knowledgeable did it for me, like in real life, like just the two of us. But at the same time, like they have to be kind of vague, or they have to like, have a lot of people to be receptive of what they were writing for certain traits. I don't know. I have to write about that. Sorry, but it was really interesting. That day I went out and I ate with like next to the Grand Palais with my best friends, and it was so cute. It was for my birthday, and we just went into a park and ate some basic food, like grocery store food, because my friends were working. It was just, you know, during their lunch break. And they bought me a Lego set with this pattern. It's not perfect, but it's a cute drawing, I think. And I still haven't started it, but I think now that I'm starting, I want to be in a like good mood and like good headspace to start it. That day was absolutely horrible, like for me to write. It was a shitty day. It really has to be a shitty day. Yeah, I guess there are days like that, right? I think it was one of the worst days I've ever experienced in like the past year. I think maybe that was the worst day. It was very, very hard. And I forced myself to go out because I know sometimes it really helps me to move and just to get my body moving, and also just to see other people and other people's lives, like to be more like, I do not like when I'm kind of like always thinking about what's not good in my life, or thinking that I will not see a solution like clearly, like quickly. I do feel like I need to see that other people are living their own life, and I'm, you know, just that life is going on, and that people are living, people are walking, people are having fun with friends, people are, you know, and seeing that on the streets is very important for me. But that did not help. That day, I think I went for a walk for like an hour, maybe even more, and I did not help at all. I do not know if you've ever had that feeling. I was sighing every 2 minutes. I'm not even kidding when I say this. It was a very, very, again, bad day. I think I've said that like so many times, but yeah, I was literally sighing every 2 minutes. It was as if my body needed to release all of those sighs, and just needed to do it every 2 minutes because it was too much for my body to handle of that pressure. Like every sigh felt like it felt good, but at the same time another one came 2 minutes later. So yeah, bad day. But yeah, I do like seeing those in my journal because I want to be able to reflect on them later on, like it's interesting for me to see that literally a month ago, like a few, yeah, almost, like how bad I was feeling and how I feel, like how much better I feel about this, or just in general now. That's important for me. That day, I like one of my older sisters had gifted me a cooking class, like a Korean, like French Korean cooking class, and we did some chaltok, so like rice cakes with sesame. Like it was a specific recipe from a French Korean, like a Korean chef working and cooking in Paris. So that was very, very good. I've never done something so good with my own hands. That was really cool. That was the first day of a big, like 5 to 6 days trip, like vacation that I have with my mom. And so it's very just memory keeping it's very, very cute. Like it was in the middle of France in like center, and I had never been there in my whole entire life, and it was beautiful. Like very, like my mom and I really like to take those like vacations, like weekends on in like kind of like places I've never been to or she's never been to in France, just because I don't know, we have like the same vision more and more of like what we want to do with our vacation, and like because I feel like holidays and vacation for a lot of people right now, because of social media and everything, and just also flights being so cheap, like so stupidly cheap, that people feel the need to go somewhere crazy and like out of their country or out of their even like continent to feel good about their vacation. And I say screw that. So with my mom, we always go to like, you know, I understand it's not everybody's vibe, but I think it's really interesting to get to know what you like from a vacation. Like, for example, my mom and I really enjoy like visiting stuff, like places, like we visited a lot of castles because that's what the region, like the whole, a place is known for. But also we like to walk and like to do, I mean, my mom can't walk like hours and hours, but yeah, we like to do that together. So yeah, we went there, and like one of the castles that I would recommend like to go to if you're going there. I don't know why you would go there, but if you go, like you have to go to the Chateau de Guédelon. It is an amazing project. It's like it's a castle, but like it's a castle that is being built right now, and it's a project that I was that was that why I it's a project that was created at the end, like that started at the end of the 90s, I think. And like the whole project is to build a medieval castle, I think 13th century castle with the technology from that time. So like no modern actual current technology. And you might think that is stupid. Why do that when it could be, why why use those techniques? And actually, like it's like such a wonderful project in my opinion, because like the whole project is to like there are some completely unknown methods and things about the construction, sorry, of castles, and just like techniques, because like some things were like obviously used at that time but did not get documented. And so by trying to build a castle with the technology they had at the time and with the knowledge that we have from them now, it's like working and like physically working to get to understand a historical period more. And I think this is absolutely amazing. And like it's very leaned, like it's really about like pedagogy, can you say that? It's about learning and teaching. And like most, like there are workshops where people tell you, oh yeah, like, oh that's exactly, I'm using this tool to do that on, like, I don't know, with stones, or like I'm working on this rope to make this or this. But yeah, so there are workshops, and it's very, again, around teaching and especially young people, like kids. So yeah, I was there like with my mom, and like just my mom was there with her 22-year-old daughter, like running around everywhere and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, we need to go see that, mom, we need to go see that, next to like a trillion of children accompanied by their parents. And I was very happy. It was really, really cool. So go there if you, it's a bit expensive, but like all that money is going straight to that project. Like it's not going to any other bigger, richer people. So good. I don't know really what to say about that page. It's like we, again, went to a lot of medieval castles. So that was really fun. That's where we stayed at. And I also talked about my planner lineup, because I was thinking about that on the 15th. Yeah, that, what did I do? Yeah, okay, so that was a day of journaling, and also just thinking about I would like to reintroduce a Korean learning system in my lineup, just not the same way as I had, like that. I don't want to have a hobonichi weeks about it. So yeah, that's just still under construction, let's say. That day I did not feel the need to write, and maybe you can't see it perhaps, but like I started writing something, and I hated the lettering that I did, so I just like, okay, let's put a picture, because I had this picture of San from 80s, and I mean, obviously I want to see him and to see that picture, so I put it there, and I just wrote a little something. It is just about that picture. I don't think I've journaled that day, so yeah, I like that it's full and just with a beautiful picture of a beautiful man. And then that day, I wrote "Denial is a River in Egypt." It is It's about my thesis, because those last few days I did not write anything about my thesis because it was too hard for me, like, to think about it and to reflect on something, I think. So it was hard to reflect on that whole subject, that whole theme, for a long time, and still not perfect right now. But I was right, like, I had completely avoided the subject for a long time, because even when I was here with my mom, and I did have, like, to send a lot of emails and just to struggle a lot with that theme, like with that whole thesis thing. And I don't, it definitely did not ruin my vacation with my mom, because I still have some very fond memories of the whole vacation. But I will always remember that I was, up very, very late every night to send emails and to be stressed about what I was going to do with my program. So that was, at the same time, I think it's good to see that and to be able to reflect on that and see how much I've grown. So in the next few months or maybe years, I'll be laughing at how stressed I was for that particular thing. But that day on the 18th, I was like, no bullshit anymore, no denial anymore. Let's write a lot about it. So I started writing here, and then you can see suites on the 15th of February. So it means that I have to flip to the 15th of February in this journal to see the rest. That day, like a lot of other days around that time, I did not want to write, but I did use that page for figuring out what courses, like what classes I wanted for my Korean program, because I passed my first year, so I'm very happy, and my second year is going to start in a few weeks, and I haven't registered yet, because it's not like the registration for the classes is not opened yet, but I want to see exactly what schedule was the best for me, was fitting with my other program, my master's program. For example, like group B and D was like absolutely out of the question for me, just because it did not work with my schedule for my other program. And I'm really happy, actually, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get exactly like the choices that the classes that I want, but I might get like literature, anthropology, politics, arts, and also like it's out of my field, like geographical field of study, because it's not about Korea. But I would like to work, like to get a class on Indian and Chinese philosophies, and yeah, I think it would be really interesting. That day, I received something really, really cool, which is my my Stray Kids Tamagotchi, and oh my gosh, that's where this is from, here. And oh my gosh, I was so happy. It's the gift that I got from one of my old sisters again, and it's so cute, because I know, I got Libet, and if you're a stay, I mean, can you see how beautiful it is that my bias is Jisung, and I got Libet. Yes. The connection is real. But just, it made me so happy to see, because my sister pre-ordered this Tamagotchi, because it was not out in France yet, or like I think there were several ways of shipping or whatever. I don't really care. Let me put him here. But she, on my birthday, she gave me a little card with this, so like just saying, oh, I pre-ordered it. And I was like, oh my gosh, because my sister is older than me, and she grew up with Tamagotchis, and I wanted one when I was little, but I could not get one because my parents were like, you're not gonna use it. I mean, and they were right at this point, like really, I'm not mad at them about that, but it's something that I saw my older sisters play with, and I wanted when I was little, and they were older sisters, so they did not let me use it because I was really young, it's like, and she went to the Stray Kids concert with me, And at that time, like it's at that time that she learned that my favorite member was Jisung, and so she was like, okay, she thought that honestly just by herself, which is crazy to. I think it was the perfect gift from her to me. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it would not have been like the perfect gift if it were from my best friend or like my mom, or like from her to me. It's like the perfect gift because it's about something that is linked to her experience and her teenage life, and to my interest and to my just my favorite K-pop group. I thought it was perfect. And also, like, she got me a little card that says, I don't grow up, I am vintage. Like, I'm not growing up, I'm vintage. Which is very fun because of the whole, thing about Tamagotchi, because it is obviously, like, coming back very, very strongly with different collaborations from what I've seen. But, yeah, all those vintage things that I guess maybe a lot of you have had Tamagotchis or had friends that had Tamagotchis, and I think, I don't know, it's very, very cute to have my own, and I'm taking care of him very, very well. He's an adult. He's been an adult, like, Libet for like a long time now, but I'm still playing with him quite a lot. So yeah, maybe I'll put him here. He's sleeping now. Can you see? He's so cute. Yeah. So that was the day, and I got a Jisung PC, so I put it here. And I wrote something. Look at him. And I wrote that he's very good looking, because I think he's really good looking. That day, I went to the Fondation Louis Vuitton with one of my friends, and my friend Charlotte. And it is, yeah, when my friend asked me to go, I was very, very skeptical, because I absolutely hate the man who's, the owner of LVMH, so in English that would be LVMH. Just like, the bigger brand around, like the bigger conglomerate around Louis Vuitton. He's a bad person. I'm not afraid to say it. And I did not want to give him money. Like, he has enough money on his own, and he's got the French media system in his hands, and I hate him. So when my friend, sorry, it's getting political. I don't care. But yeah, he's not the only one, right? But like a lot of, because he's a multi-billionaire. Like, I think he's like, I'd say something like 100, like, or maybe even like 150 billions to his name, which is what? Yes. So when my friend asked me to go, I was like, I'm not paying for that, Charlotte. I'm sorry, like, you'll have to go on your own. And she said, no, but for students on Thursdays, it's free. And I was like, oh, that changes everything, because I had never been there, because I thought, I had never looked up for the prices, because I was like, whatever the price is, I'm not gonna pay for it. I mean, if it were like a national museum or like something from a bit like more like a smaller, I don't know, like brand or something, I would, but like definitely not for that. So yeah, if you live next to Paris, or even if you're a student, I don't know if it's only for French or for European Union students, but it's free, at least for those people. In like on Thursdays, and it was a really good exhibition. It was about David Hockney's work, and I did not know him. I have absolutely no knowledge about art, and like contemporary art in general, but especially contemporary. But it was really, really nice, and it was fun because we had to walk very, very fast through the exhibition, and we only stayed looking at some of the artwork because my friend was working that day, so we had to do it right before the end, the closing time. And yeah, it was very fun. That day was the day that the album Karma from Stray Kids was out, and I was really, really happy. I did not write anything on that day. I wrote on that day, and I used this space here because it was completely blank. And I came back afterwards, and and put a picture that I just had lying around from, you know, a trip that I took a long, long time ago. I don't even like that picture. It's just I needed something to fill up that page in my mind. Yeah, I guess that's all I can say about it. It's just I don't like the picture, but every time I see it, it just does remind me of exactly where I was and what I did, why I took that picture. So that was fun. Nothing crazy except that I listened to the I don't know if you know the band Forestella. It's a Korean band which is like so good. Like they're singers. Like they're not idols. They're singers. They're not dancers and everything. And they're so good. And they got like there was a new cover from the song Despacito that was out like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, and it was so good. Like it is so. Please go watch it. I'll put it in the description. Like if you I'll put the link, because dang, like there are a lot of views and half of them are mine, I must say. Yeah, I covered up the face of my sister because I don't think she would like to be on the internet like that. But she's just hugging our sister's cat, and it's like such a cute picture. So yeah, and on that day, my thesis advisor answered my email. So I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. That day, I don't know why, but I woke up extremely enthusiastic, I think, about the day, and feeling like I wanted to be productive. I think it's a Tuesday thing for me. I don't know why, but on Tuesdays I'm always like, let's get my shit together. So I did so many things. I went out to buy like, you know, really good things, like healthy things to do myself, like to brunch on my own, and watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is my favorite series. And the neighborhood cat was just staying with me next to me. It was really cute. And yeah, that day also like deep cleaned my apartment, like especially my bedroom. I deep cleaned it as I never had, which was bad. It's bad that it took me so long, but yeah, it was. Oh my god, yeah, I just saw something here. I'm sorry. I journaled about Han, Hyunjin, and Youngblood. So Han and Hyunjin are like idols, K-pop idols from different groups, and Youngblood is a British singer, songwriter. Okay, sorry, let me come back. So yeah, that's my hobonichi cousin that I use so for sometimes like doing some spreads that are, yeah. And on the 25th, I think I learned a bit before then, like a few days before. Let me put that right on top of it. But I learned that I'm a fan of both of all three of them, okay? And I learned that Hyunjin's song, Ghost Girl, that was out like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, with TXT's latest album, was a gift from Youngblood. And I was like, oh my god. I mean, I knew they knew each other, and they had some kind of friendship because I've seen them together, and they're very fans of each other. I don't know if I can say that, but yeah. And it just made sense in my mind because I was, before even becoming a K-pop stan, I had seen Youngblood in concert, and it was like, I love him so much. I haven't listened to a lot of his latest work, but I love his personality, and yeah. And Han from Stray Kids, which is my bias, again, is a fan of Youngblood. And like someone gifted, like Dom, so Youngblood, a little Quokka plushie, and look at him. Oh my gosh. Yes, and I put like a little excerpt from an interview that Han Jisung did for Rolling Stone UK, where he was talking about Youngblood and being like, you know, I like him, and like I like his work and everything. It was so good. It just made sense to me, and I felt like that day the luckiest girl on earth, because I am very, very lucky to have been to both Youngblood's concert like a few years ago, and this year to TXT's and Stray Kids concert, like on like those two in the same year. And seeing that both of my biases from each group are a fan of Youngblood, like admire someone I admire, is like, it just made sense. And like the whole vibe of like, you know, poetic lonely lover boy is something that I really like. It can be very cringe, right? But yeah, maybe if you've watched the MV from Ghost Girl, this is yeah, it's very dark, I'm sorry, but like this is Hyunjin, and I could have sworn that it was like, not knowing that it was Hyunjin, I would have said, oh yeah, this is obviously very, very Youngblood coded. Like just everything is like screams Youngblood. And so yeah, I did I did a spread on that. So sorry, that was completely out of yeah, that was fun to do. So yeah, so on that day I deep cleaned my bedroom and just rearranged like my apartment. It felt really good, and I ate really well as well. The next day was the next 2 days were really, really hard for me, mentally, not really, just emotionally more than mentally, to be honest. And someone had asked me in one of my previous videos in the comments about like what I did, or maybe it was on their video, I don't remember exactly, but like what I was, yeah, it was on their video, whatever. What I was doing with my dirty, negative, angry, bitter feelings, when I had some, or when I was sad. And I had told them that I do put them in my journal, because for me it's important to see how much I've grown and how much I moved on from those things. And if I have not moved on, I can think about it and think like, okay, why has that not changed, right? And like reflect on that. And that day I came home quite late, and I was absolutely exhausted, like mentally, physically, and because some things had happened. And I wanted to write, but I did not know exactly how to write. And I initially started this page like, you know, it's just is done with a highlighter, and I was like, okay, let me color the page so it does not look that blank and that weird and yeah, intimidating to me. And I thought I would write something on the color, like on the highlighter, and then I was like, no, it's not for me. And not for me now. Like I think a week later, a bit more, yeah, a week later, I do remember exactly. And I think in a month, and I think in a year, I will definitely remember exactly what I was feeling at this particular moment, because it was important. And that day I wrote a lot. It's just I covered it because it speaks, like, it's about other people's lives, and I don't mind if you can read all of my deepest thoughts about myself, but I don't want you to know about other people's lives. So yeah, that day I did not write anything. I know I wrote this on that day. It was a day where I bought a new perfume, because I had not had one for a long time, and I bought it with the money that my grandpa gave me for my birthday. That was really fun. It was like, yeah, so that's Goddess from Burberry. It was so expensive, and I'm not used to do like those big purchases, but I was like, yeah, you know what, let's treat myself. So yeah, thank you, Grandpa. And on that day, I also watched a video from, I think the name of her channel is Oddly Specific Crystal. Maybe you've heard about her or like watched one of her videos, but it was a video about journal prompts to get to know yourself better, inspired by I have no idea how to say his name, I'm sorry, but like the I don't know how to say it in English. I would say the Jungian archetypes. And so I did one test on the internet, knowing really well that Carl Jung, I think it's Carl Jung, right? Yeah. Jung did not... Jung? He's German, right? So Jung. He did not create a specific test. Like, you know, that apparently the archetypes are really much more like guidelines rather than just specific personality traits. If you know anything about that, I'd love to hear more about what you have to say. But I think... let's say, I do think those archetypes fit me well, like about the self and the persona. Yes, and here is the last day of August, and I was so happy. Like I wrote that here. I was so happy that it was the last day of August. It might be weird because my birthday month, and I've had some really great memories, and I've done so many great things. But at the same time, it was a very heavy month for me. So yeah, the page started with me putting gluing the tea bag that from the tea that I drank that day. Very expensive, very beautiful tea. Not that expensive, but like expensive compared to other teas that I usually drink. And I just enjoyed the color so much that I was like, okay, let's just, make the whole spread pink. And I really like how I really put this first and then this, and then this is Changbin from the ceremony MV, like music video, when his iconic line, no one, nobody can stop me. And I wrote about some things that I should let go. I'm letting go for the month of September, like angerness and bitterness and sadness and self-pity. I want to let go of that, to reflect on it, obviously, but just to not be thinking about it constantly, I think is really important to me. So yeah, I think September is going to be a very different month. It has started quite well already, at least better. And I think it's also because I am in the mood for something new, because it's a new month. Like I'm not delusional. I think just my mental, the way that I saw September going into September because of what I did on the 31st of August was, seeing September as kind of a more positive, letting go of things, renewal kind of month. And I want that to happen. So because I said so, that's gonna happen. Let's look at the monthly page. Yeah. I'm not gonna show you the weeklies because there's nothing in it. So yeah, I used one of the weeks to just do a tarot reading on my birthday. That's it. Not even on my birthday. Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, around my birthday. That's a picture that I covered because it's my nephew. He's young and I don't want him on the internet. But yeah, he's so cute. He's like sleeping. Yeah, very cute. It's a month, I think, where because if you've never watched what I did, here are the spreads that I did for the previous month. And yeah, so I put like pictures that either I really like, aesthetically, or just that tell a story about that specific day. And I must say, I think unconsciously, subconsciously, I did not take a lot of pictures from that month, just because it made me, I don't know, I think I did not want to remember a lot of things that were happening. So I realized that as I was doing this, I think I did that on 31st. And there's also something really that I love about the fact that the month of September, which was something, that I needed something new, started on the Monday. Because in my head, I know some people start their weeks on a Sunday, but in my head it's Monday. There's something, there's a little perfection in that in my brain. So I really like when the month starts on a Monday. So yeah, on the 31st, I was just like looking through my pictures and kind of trying to choose which ones I wanted to put here. And I discovered I did not have pictures for very important days or events, and just that happens. And I wanted to have something on this. It was purely just aesthetic. I wanted to have something here, like on the top left half, I don't know, yeah, whatever, this quarter of the page, of the layout. And I had done a screenshot of Songhwa from ATEEZ, and being completely over the moon because he got an album from DPR Ian, he's an Australian singer, songwriter, idol, I would say, perhaps even. I don't know if he considers himself. Yeah, whatever. But Songhwa, who is my bias from ATEEZ, is like it's the same thing with like Hyunjin, Han, and Youngblood. Like Sanghwa, who is my bias, is like obsessed and like admires DPR Ian, who I also love, and just also makes a lot of sense. And I wanted to put that here because oh my god, he's so cute. You have no, he's so cute. Whatever. Yeah, that's just my obsession with Sanghwa. My friends could tell you a lot about it as well. That's when I was on vacation with my mom. That was the first day, that was the last day, and on that day there was like a power outage, I think you say that, a power outage at the place where we're staying at, and we ate we ate dinner with just candles, and it was very, soft. I had not done that in years, and it was, I don't know, something I might even do at home because it felt so special, That day is when I went to the exhibition with my friend at the Fondation Louis Vuitton. That day I took care of my sister's cat, and he just, as I was updating my media journal and, reviewing in the back pages, he came on my lap and just like started sleeping, and it was so cute, so I had to take a picture. And that's just a picture that I took, like a selfie that I took that I really like. I think I'm cute on this, so I wanted to remember it. And yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, I'm done. I've talked a lot. I think the video is going to be like twice as long as my June, my hobonichi horn video, but I guess you were doing something else at the same time, like maybe journaling or cooking, I don't know, doing the dishes, doing something either that you enjoy, that makes you feel good, like productive. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a little something from it. I think the last word, like the last thing I want to say is, it was a very hard month, but I'm really like the fact that I can see that it was a hard month through the pages. Like I'm one of those people who want also the bad feelings inside their journal. I completely understand if you don't want to, but if you're wanting to, like if you do not know, please try to pour everything into your journal. I think it's really either something very, I feel like I'm trying to do something very new every day, and to like draw something, like to put some ephemera in, but just put as I do in my longer form journaling, just write and write and write and write and write and write, and be happy and be sad and be angry and be everything. I think it's really good for you to see in a few years, to even just month. I know I'll be very happy to see how I was dealing with everything that was happening to me in the month of August, in a few months or weeks even. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!